Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Blues Brothers 2000, and in this episode I have a bit of a confession to make. You see where I am now? This is where we left off in the last episode, if I'm not mistaken. Well, guess what? This is actually a completely separate recording from the last time. You can see that the key icon I have up at the side there is solid now. Well, that means I've actually finished this level. I actually finished the game, and I found out too late that I actually wasn't recording any of it at all. I mean, of this section. I actually filmed the first part, which was the last episode I posted, and the last part, which is going to be the finale that I'm going to put up in a couple of days. But this middle section, the meat of the level, is missing. Or was missing. Is missing. Whatever. It's gone. Point is, there's no video. I still have the audio from the original recording, some of the reactions of which I might still splice in, because I think it frankly has some of my best material in any of my Let's Plays yet, because I was doing this part of the level mostly blind, and ooh, nice, one up, and I have some terrifically funny reactions to several of the things that go on, but I will also be able to run this part of the level much quicker and cleaner than the way I was doing it before, because before I did this almost blind, because I'd only played this, as I said in the original recording, I'd only played this level once and never to this point, at least as far as I could remember. I'd beaten the game before, I recall, but this is the closest I'd ever gotten to actually finishing this part of the game in recent memory. So I honestly could not remember a thing that was going on, which meant that things like that spider down below, that freaked me out. And, you know, stuff like that. Everything was taking me off guard. Anyway, in this part, we're going to re-record what we lost before and go and talk to this weird dude over here. The Queen sent me to ensure you're good enough to compete. Here's the move contestants must do to be eligible. Repeat it 3 times. So, in the swamp, there are actually two little bits with people who want to test your dance moves before you actually get to the final area. Now let's see how well you follow instructions. Try these moves. Same as before, just a simple 4/4 beat. Move the stick whenever you feel like it, just as long as you move it correctly. If you move it wrong, then all of your directions that you've pressed thus far will reset. You have to be fast to be able to get it on rhythm, especially if you're trying to move 5 steps in a 4-step beat. It's not easy. Just ask any musician trying to do more than like a multiple of 4, like trying to do a 16-note set or measure in 4/4 beat isn't so hard, but try to do a 15 or 13 notes in a measure that's on a 4/4 beat isn't easy, because you're all out of rhythm. It takes practice, and this game will throw towards this part of the end here. Most of it is all moves that we've done before, just the up A, over down A, things like that. But they don't correspond to any of Elwood's animations, so it's pretty much just they'll throw random arrows or directions at you and expect you to be able to keep up. Which honestly, if you can't, then I'll give you a hint as to what the final episode is going to have. The boss will curb stomp you. So you better get good at this. You better at least be able to pick up the rhythm and move the stick in time. I'll say this, when I initially recorded the finale, which is probably going to end up being the finale that I end up putting on YouTube, I did not do very well. I screwed up a lot, but I still managed to win because the AI is programmed to lose, I suppose. But it isn't easy. If you're bad at these sections, you're not going to do well at the final boss, because instead of an actual fight, it's a dance-off. I'll give you that hint right now. Every day I'm shuffling. Well, maybe you're not so bad after all. I'm not gonna quote that song again. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I quoted the death of modern music as it is. I hate dance pop. It's my least favorite genre of music outside of gangsta rap. So I apologize profusely for the fact that I quoted that song, and I will never, ever, ever quote it again. Thank you. Another jukebox, crossing a narrow platform. That phonograph down there just made this hard appear, nothing too drastic. And then we're coming up to, I believe this is the area I'm thinking of. It's my favorite area in this level. Yep, this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, the spider's den. If you have arachnophobia, look away now. Remember that spider we fought at the base of the hollow tree? Well, this is where it came from. We got to deal with a whole nest of these guys. Now, if I can remember where there were a couple of important items. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to show you guys where all the notes were because they save whenever you finish this area, whenever you finish an area. So, I believe there were 2 notes in the hollow tree, and then there's one here, as well as Elwood's microphone. I'll show you where that was once I get to it, because I remember where that was. And I figured out also that Elwood's breakdancing move is possibly is easily the best attack in this game. Obviously, you can't use it that well in the jail area because all the enemies, the big enemies there that you have to fight, have to be knocked down first. And this is also a secret that I found out in my initial playthrough, was that this little pool area is actually filled with coins. All you have to do is walk back and forth through here, and you can pick up almost like something like 50 or 60 coins just from walking back and forth in a circle, which allowed me to get. I was down to like two ups, and I needed to get more, and this is the way to do it. Okay, so you see the door over there? Well, obviously we have the spider key now, but you hadn't collected it yet when you got here initially, so you had to come down this way. See the breakdancing attack, the enemies do have like an invincibility thing, but it's not very long. It's only like a half a second. It's not even half a second, so you can use Elwood's breakdancing move to rapid fire hit them and take them out really easy. Okay, so this area, you see there's this kind of a lake thing here. Alright, and then right here, there's a pit. I honestly thought that you were supposed to jump over this pit, and I did in my initial recording. I Leroy Jenkins right into that pit, and no, you're not supposed to jump into it or over it. You're just supposed to avoid it. And I think, is this the cave? No, I don't think this is the cave. There is a cave, I think it's a little bit farther on. Or maybe that's the cave. No, yeah, that is the cave. That was the cave. In the back of that cave, the purple one with the spider in it that I didn't go into, that's where Elwood's microphone is. It was up against the back wall. You had to actually go in and fight the spider to be able to see it. Which, you know, spiders, arachnophobia aside, these spiders actually aren't that creepy. They got the big googly Muppet eyes for one thing. Okay, so that key, the spider key was found at the edge of that gap, just past the jukebox. So then you backtrack to this door, and you're like, well, now what? Well, you got to come down these steps here, or don't. You can just Leroy Jenkins right in the middle, and wah, mama! So Big Mama Spider here is she's mean. She's actually immune. I think she's immune to the breakdance attack. It's kind of hard to tell because she can't be hit during her attack animation. Yeah, it looks like she is. The only way to hit her reliably is to slide into her, throw your hat at her, or slam her. I have no idea if it's supposed to be a girl. I just pretend that it is, because I think girl spiders are creepy. Creepier than guys. Guy spiders are those little doofies with the boxing gloves. Girl spiders are the dangerous ones. Okay, so that done. Now, you might say, well, that unlocked. Well, this web platform comes up, and this really confused me initially, but there is a rock tunnel right here that you can jump to using the web as a trampoline, and then come out this way. I believe there was a note here? No, it was right here. Because up here is that gap that we jumped over, and there was a note here. That's what tempted me to try to jump over the gap. but you actually have to fall down that hole, backtrack to get the note, and then come back this way and leave the nest. I think this is the exit. Yep, here it is. Okay, so we're actually coming up. This is almost the end of the area. This took me almost 20 minutes, my initial recording, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But it's taken me half that so far now. Now look at, see this area here? You might think, look, it says danger. There's a barrel. There's water, just like there was in the last part. But, that's right, folks. Suddenly, Elwood can swim, at least for a little bit of time. Falling in the water is not instant death now. As long as you can jump like, crazy and get out of there before the barracuda eat you, or pike. Why did I say barracuda? They're pike. Eat you, then you're fine. Okay, we need to jump. Okay, this, the end of the level is over there, the other way, or at least one direction to get there is. Here, I'm gonna show you guys everything that went on here, even though I've actually already cleared this area since there were notes here. I'll say that. There was a note, here, let me get to the middle platform here. There was a note, where's the, there's a note up there on that branch. You can't really see it. It looks like a hole in the wall, but that's actually a branch. There was a note up there. And then, let me see. Then over this way, you can see there's another barrel and some platforms. There is a small area up there where the other note was. There's a bunch of those bear trap enemies that are guarding it. And that's where the second to last note of this level was. Then you just hop on this barrel, take it for a quick ride, grab some friendly coins. Don't jump and grab those, because the barrel mechanics in this area are just as bad as they were before, so don't bother. Okay, you can jump in on those barrels, grab some coins. I don't need them. Well, I guess I do need them if I don't want to die. I really, really would. Oh, lovely. See, that's the thing. I figured out once you get down below three lives, this game starts handing out 1-ups. I've got 94 coins and 2 lives. I'm good. Okay, now this area. This confused me a lot initially when I was playing through this level. See this right here? It says watch your back. And what was the only time in this game so far that we've had to run towards the camera with it facing back behind us? Yep, the gator in the sewers. That's exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. Obviously, we're in a swamp. Why not a giant gator? Guess what? It's a giant hillbilly with an 8x8 who's going to crush our skulls. Oh my gosh, I still love my initial reaction to this guy. I laughed my butt off for a good 30 to 40 seconds, just at the sheer ridiculousness of having Paul Bunyan in purple overalls here chase after me. Just, it's the silliest thing ever. This is the perfect place to just, you can just reuse the giant crocodile. Everybody be okay with that. But obviously they didn't care about sense. What's that? They're gonna, if they want to make a crazy game like this, they're gonna make one, darn it. They're gonna throw in a giant hillbilly that's chasing down somebody with an 8x8 and gonna club them to death for no good reason. They're gonna make it so that you have to go through a cavern full of giant spiders that can eat somebody alive, that are twice the size of a normal person. They're gonna make a game where there are people. The size differential between people varies between a 10-foot giant who's the warden of a prison and a little 4-foot dude who's apparently who's a blues musician. And, well, I guess, I don't know. That's the thing, Elwood is supposed to be tall. He's especially compared to Jake in the first Blues Brothers movie, he's tall. Dan Aykroyd isn't a shrimp by any means. He's lanky and he's tall. Why did they feel the need to make everything in this game bigger than he is? The only thing that I can think of that's smaller, enemy-wise, is the hillbillies that we fought. Even the guard dogs are bigger than Elwood is. So same as before, you know, the water, again, it will, the pike will come out and kill you if you're not fast. But if, you know, provided you have your thumb on the A button and you're able to jump out of the water, then they're not going to bother you. Okay, we got a jukebox here, thank you. And we got to jump on this barrel, which takes us to the next area, which is actually the final area. This, well, not the final area, second to final area. And this is actually where the last note was. So I'm going to show you guys where that was in a minute. There are some enemies and stuff here, but you really don't need to face them. All this area is a downward jump puzzle. Or, well, not really a puzzle. It's just basically a jump area. You know how in some platformers... Oh, well, think in Super Mario 64, in the blue cap area, where you've hit the switch there. This is kind of what that is like initially. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I guess you can die from fall damage in this game, provided it's from a high enough height. Anyway, gosh, if I get a game over, I'm gonna be so ticked. Especially since this is a run back through, not rather than a let's play, basically. So yeah, you have to be kind of careful. You can't fall for too far. Okay, and these enemies. Beavers. Yes, beavers. Yay, another one up. See, every time I get worried about possibly, so I guess the problem isn't the fall, it's the fact that the camera can't scroll to keep up. So yeah, you have to be kind of careful with how you make your jumps. If you fall too far, you're gonna die, and you don't want to get a game over now. We're pretty close to the end of the game here. End of the stage, end of the game, same difference. So you really, really, really want to take care. Oh, my control stick got stuck there for a second. Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody's really asked me this, but yes, I do actually own a copy of this game. I am not playing this on an emulator. I'm playing this on an actual N64, and I actually own a copy of this game. It begs the question, why would you own a copy of this game? But you know what? I enjoy it. I didn't buy it myself. I think my dad probably bought it for us when we were kids, which would explain why we have it. Because he's a big Blues Brothers fan, and he probably thought it was a music game, but it's not. But I'm not upset. I'm not like, why do I own this game? No, I don't rage. I like this game. It's fun. It's quirky. It's different. You know, in an era of platformers where pretty much everybody was Mario, or Banjo, or Donkey Kong, this game dares to be different, at least for the most part. Sure, there are some derivative things. You have things like notes, obviously, that, well, considering it's music-inspired, I suppose they could get away with it more than Banjo could. In Banjo, I don't even know what they're doing in Banjo, but hey. And no, the note for this last note for this area hasn't shown up yet. We haven't gotten to the place where it is. I was worried about it the whole time we were going down this area in my initial run through. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't find the last note. But no, we haven't gotten into it yet. At least I don't think. Maybe we have. I kind of lose track of where I am on this part. Okay, so there's that. I think it was somewhere close by here, because this is the exit right here. Yeah, it was right up there, on the platform between the platform with the hillbilly and the heart. So like the second one down. So there's no, as long as you come close to the bottom, I mean, you can fall and miss some of the platforms, but as long as you come close to the bottom, you're gonna find that note. Okay, here we go. Last area of the game, right here. And possibly one of the most derivative so far. Stay away from me, Pike. Yeah, the more derivative area of this game, we're running up Spiral Mountain. I'm not gonna hash it. It's Spiral Mountain. I mean, seriously, they couldn't just end the level now? There's nothing to collect here. It's just a run up the side of a mountain to where the final boss is. It doesn't make any sense that they would put this in here. Though, if you look, you can see the waterfall from here, so at least they didn't, you know, they didn't just, like, graphics it out. They had a loading screen in between, but it was a short one, so... Well, guess what, folks? We've reached it. This is the end of the game, right here. See this house? This is where the Battle of the Bands is being held. And this lady right here, she is the... I called her Lady of the Dance. I can't remember. Her name's Queen something or other. She's from the movie. She's the one hosting the Battle of the Bands in the movie as well. So she's not just some random character. Anyway, all that being said, in the last episode, next episode, which is also the last episode, we will be going to talk to Queenie here, going into the house and entering the Battle of the Bands. See you all then, and thanks for watching. Peace out and good night.